as we've seen with many virtual reality titles, though the HTC Vive controllers are tracked with absolute precision, it's simply not the case that a developer can slap them into their Unity project and end up with something that plays well. It's the small details that make or break VR games. And One Hamsa, the developers of Racket NX, understand the details, which is perhaps why this is one of the most enjoyable virtual reality titles when it comes to the core interaction mechanics. When you jump into the Racket NX demo, you're greeted by a perfectly, exquisitely designed menu for VR. You're on a little platform in space, the options are clearly presented in front of you with icons the size of a building. You can't go wrong. Underneath the main game logo there's some warning text informing you that you should indeed put your wrist straps on for this game. And this is definitely one of those titles where if you've got a toddler in the room, you're going to want to lock them under the stairs safely out of the way. And if you're as unfortunate as myself to live in the United Kingdom in what many describe as a house but is more of a shoebox, make sure your insurance is up to date because there's going to be Vive controller shaped holes in the ceiling. Once you get into the actual arena and begin the game, it's deceptively simple. You've got a ball and you have to hit it against the green target zone parts on the wall. To keep things spicier than a hot curry, the target zones change shape and have different animations, the wall has special abilities, and the gameplay takes place 360 degrees all around you. Bringing things back to the details and where this game really shines and what the developer's done right, the basic interaction of hitting the ball feels absolutely superb. It picks up the different angles, directions and speed that you're hitting the ball up with really high accuracy. What's really nice is if you do a good hard hit with what in reality would likely put spin on a ball, the game picks it up and puts a curve on the ball as well as changing the colour of it, giving it more speed and more power. It just feels really good. Outside of the basic hitting of the ball, the developers got a really nice mechanic where you hold the trigger which causes you to sort of Jedi mind power the ball towards your racket. This greatly reduces the initial learning curve of the game and makes things more approachable and easier to line up your shot to hit the targets. Not quite finished with the compliments, we move to the sound, which again is focused pretty much entirely on complementing the gameplay. The developer has leveraged 3D audio perfectly, which really helps you work out exactly where the ball is in relation to yourself even when you're not looking at it. This might sound like a small thing, but in virtual reality when you've got 360 degree gameplay, it's crucial, and again One Hamsa along with Waves Audio have done a perfect job of it with this game. Because at this point in time it is only a demo, it lacks all the content, but you can see from the menus they're going to have a level editor, different stages, and also multiplayer, which will be really interesting to see. From the stage that they've got in the game at the moment, you can tell that there's nice variation in there and there's stuff to encourage you to keep coming back. I also found that playing this, at first I was absolutely terrible at it, but very quickly got better, more accurate and found lots of enjoyment from that. And it's a good sign when you can't just master a game immediately, but get rewarded for actually doing better, with your score gradually increasing as your skill increases. As a tangential bonus, this is yet another VR game that's going to cause you to sweat more than a polar bear that's been dropped in the Sahara Desert. Now it's not as active as real tennis or racket sport, but it's pretty good at getting your heart rate going, and of course it stops you having to visit that place known as the outside. So in conclusion, Racket NX is one of those titles you need to look out for. I'd put it up there with Space Pirate Trainer, Budget Cuts, and those top VR demos that just show off what virtual reality is about and what virtual reality can do. Make sure you download the Racket NX demo from Steam right away and play it. I've put a link to the game in the video description, and whilst you're down there in the dirty part of the YouTube video description box, click the subscribe button, like the video and let us know what you think in the comments. But until the next episode of VR Bump, I hope you found this interesting. I'm super excited about this game. I hope you are too. I will see you. Goodbye. Years of planning, peak physical condition, and the luck that you don't suffer from a pulmonary embolism at base camp. These are all qualities that I believe one needed to have to reach the summit of Earth's highest peak, Mount Everest. In actuality, all it takes is a couple of cutscenes, walking across a ladder, climbing up